Shadow the Hedgehog is famously an edgelord who owns multiple guns and a motorcycle. Earlier this year, LEGO decided to put out a set featuring Shadow, and of course they had to include his motorcycle, and I thought it wasn't very good. When I got the set earlier in the year, I felt like the build looked kinda smushed, like the bike had just been smushed in. Combined with the slightly wonky headlight and handlebar placement, I wasn't a big fan of it, so it just sat on my shelf. Fast forward to now, and being spurred on a little bit by the release of the trailer for the third Sonic movie, I felt like it was time I made my attempt to fix it. So, over a weekend, I did just that. This is what I came up with. I wanted to go for a more accurate look, so the bike ended up being longer and gained a slightly more elegant looking profile. Another thing I wanted to focus on was the front. I more or less rearranged the pieces around and redid how the front part was connected, adding a new headlight along with rearranging how the handlebars were connected. Another thing I wanted to redo was the front wheel, because personally I'm not a big fan of this wheel piece. It just sort of bothers me, so I had to dig through my wheel box and I couldn't really find anything to use. They were either too small, too thin, too old, too big, so I had to think outside the box. So I ended up using this wheel. It might be an illegal building technique, though I can't argue with the results, it just looks really good. I mean, it's not as slim as the one in the game, but it gets the job done. However, it's the only part of the MOC that is slightly delicate due to how I connected it. It's through a pole connection and an axle based one. This was more so I could have it at the right angle. I mean, I just gotta push it inwards and it's back in place right as rain. Moving to the back, I didn't really change much. I more or less just added a few pieces in for detail, even including the back rail element that's covering the back wheel. I also swapped out the grey centre wheel piece for a red one, and so that's my MOC. I mean, that was kind of it really. It was more I just wanted to make something to celebrate the Sonic 3 trailer coming out, and I also wanted to tackle redoing Lego's one. Anyway, so what did you think of my MOC? Do you think there's anything else I could have done? Leave your thoughts down below. And while you're down there, maybe consider subscribing for more news, reviews, MOCs, and whatever else I can think of. I'm Under the Brick saying goodbye and see you next time.